This is session 1120 with IMEC, her 28th session, September 26, 84. Okay, fine. And just continue on. Take yourself farther out. Make your contact. We'll be here. Good afternoon. We're very pleased to be back in touch with you.
Thank you. We are pleased to be with you. May we help you? Are there any questions?
We have so many questions, it's difficult always to know which is the more important to us. We have become more aware and more conscious of the process of projection that you have been introducing us to. We are not clear yet in our own minds of the role of projection or the extent to which projection is involved for us in our reception of the information that we're so happy to receive from you.
It is trying to make one aware that one is not one's thoughts. One must become aware that the self, the consciousness, the awareness is not one's thoughts. That is what we have tried to emphasize, that one has become so involved in the mental processes that they no longer can separate awareness from thoughts. One, as yesterday we suggested that one should be concerned without being concerned as to where one's thoughts come from and to whose thoughts they are, putting an ownership on the process that is taking place within the mental body. And as yesterday we explained that a word expressed is a sound vibration, to again use another concept, and one finds it very difficult in the mental plane to perceive or understand on other levels other than the mental process. And when one hears a word, then that word is if one could visualize a word as energy and visualize this energy coming into their energy body and stimulating other energies, and as the connection is made, there appears within the mental body a form of some sort or a conception, then that becomes the reality within the energy form, and one can become so involved with the mental workings that one is then involved in one process of thought forms which we explained could be called projections. And as the energy from one's words, you see, as when one speaks, there is much energy involved in the transference, as you would say. Then one is sending with the word vibrations that carry with it different, you would say, rates of a vibration, and with that is involved all of the energies within that entity that would be speaking, and there would be vibrations which included deeper workings and deeper meanings, as one would say that one could feel the difference in a tone that one was speaking, and one may say to another, hello, and one may find, if it examines the processes, if it allows itself to feel, as it were, and receive only that one word, they would find that there would be many responses within their total energy body. And this would carry with it all of the projections, as it were, or much that was contained in the energy that was addressing the other one, or speaking. And this is where then one finds that sometimes perhaps a simple hello will leave them in a different, we would say, mental state or emotional. It would affect them. There would be an effect because, as we said, the one energy, when the person speaks, carries with it a vibration, and that vibration entering into, as it were, the receiving entity, it would have an effect. There would be no way for it not to have an effect. And then the effect, if the entity were not aware of this, then it would be involuntarily combined with the energy that was receiving, and would circulate, as it were, and find responses. It would find areas within its own energy field that were closely related to the total vibrations that the entity was sending, far more than, in this case, the word itself. And so then there would be, with the coming together of the spoken word, which is a vibration, entering into the energy field, as we said, at this precise instant, which is very, very rapid, then there would be that energy added to or taken in by that energy field, and would find within its energy field as it were, a place to settle, and would add, as it were, to that energy field, and there would be feelings associated with it, and there would be many activities taking place on many different levels. Now, as one begins to understand this, then one can be aware, and as one is encountering exchanges with other energy fields, as one is aware of this fact and one has freed their own energy fields of as many emotional blocks and thought form blocks. And then when the energy enters the same process, then the awareness within the mental and emotional and physical body, recognizing this and having freed itself of similar responses or responses of any type of emotionalism, from as we said, extreme joy to fear, then would be able to have the energy. At first it would be a conscious focusing and being aware of the energy entering, much like one would be aware of a food or liquids entering the body. And so then one would be aware that in inter-exchanges there is mental food entering into the energy field. And then, as we said, the control, the power, if you would, of the consciousness can, as the energy enters, can then direct this. One example would be to direct this energy and have it become a pure energy, or say that this energy is now, if one would like, one could say this energy now, as this energy enters in, is now a pure joy. This energy that enters in now is pleasant to all of the energy that it is entering into. And then, so the energies, and as we said before, if one could visualize the various sounds, and then one could visualize the vibrations that are entering in on the physical level, and then magnify that in that the energies that is surrounding, that each energy field is itself a field and is surrounded by energy fields that are not visible and are not received totally by the senses, and so that they are constantly surrounded. If they would visualize their structure of their total physical being, and that on every point on their physical body, that at all times there are trillions, there are too many to number, different vibrations entering into the energy system. And if one could visualize their being as energy, and then visualize that totally around their energy field, there was a constant interchange of energies of various sorts. This would not, as should not, be frightening to the individual, if they, in fact, it should alleviate fears, because as one stands and wonders what dictates their being, and as one would ask, why am I here, or why is this particular thing, why is my reality manifesting in this manner to me, then one could become aware of that. One then could start directing and controlling their reality by then taking the energies that entered in within and surrounding the entire field, and then whatever the individual wished, one could say that one wished their physical body to be manifested with radiant health, as an example. And then as one focused one's awareness, and as the energies entered in, one could then consciously direct and flow the energy to the cells, and the cells, the thought forms that might act as blocks to start with, would then gradually accept the new thought form. And as one's thought forms or systems began to accept this, a possibility that one could control with the consciousness that as the energies entering in would produce that which it wished. Instead of having the energies flow in and act on a basis, acting on thought forms, resident within the energy field, that as the energies enter in, take possession of it, because, if you would say, they believe that they are correct. And as energy enters in, we would just give an example, into a thought form that had taken residence within an energy field, that as one reached a certain particular age, one's body should react in a certain way and appear in a certain way, with all of the confirmations that the physical senses in relation to age and people are into this energy thought form, this system. Then if one is taking in energy, we would say, and one is suddenly aware that one is in the physical world 1 year older, then all of the energies entering into the energy field at that precise less than an instant would then be drawn or pulled to that energy thought form system, thought that was operating under with that belief system, and would then use the energies coming in to make that particular thought form a reality, and would then influence the emotions, and then in fact one may instantly feel all sorts of quick flashes within the mental body of the fact that their life is perhaps half over, wherever they would be in their particular realm of what the human being has stretched out their lifespan to be, and then would start adding the mental processes would begin to take place, and one would then begin to feel melancholy, which would bring the emotions into play, and then one would begin to feel, we would say, perhaps down, and then the effect would be then felt within the physical body, and even within hours, within days or weeks, one then would be aware of saying, well, I cannot do what I used to do because I am a little bit older, or I do not have the strength that I used to have. And so then as then the mental agreement and the emotional agreement, then the physical body will agree, and the energies, instead of flowing free and allowing the individual to experience and to have the consciousness flow through a physical body that is active, then the physical body then conforms, and then it is a reality, and the thought then, when it is a reality in the physical body, then the thought form that the belief system says in essence to the total being seed, I was right. You are getting old, and then all the confirmations come in, and it is very difficult for the entities, for the become aware, because many times there are thought forms and the mental processes going on within the energy field can become an interreaction between thought systems and have nothing to do with the consciousness, with the awareness. And so one may have there may be processes going on within an entity that are taking place, and in a sense there is a vague awareness of it, as one then may become aware that it has observed two different processes or two different opinions taking place within the mental body, and then if there tends to be a victory or more energy in one thought system, then the consciousness may associate itself with that particular system carrying the most energy, and then confirm, and then the consciousness would then be in agreement with that particular system, and thereby give it more support. And as the consciousness becomes more and more locked in to particular thought systems, thought forms, and in thought systems, then the consciousness becomes locked in, and the reality or the thought forms gain more and more momentum and more power. And this is what we said was that which is which stays as it were on the earth plane, then with the greater amount of energy, and then we would say were the influences for possibilities of a consciousness becoming aware of itself, then being subject to these same thought forms or belief systems, again consuming, as it were, more and more energy. And as we said yesterday, when one would be concerned about where the thoughts came from, is on the earth plane, or in this reality. The thought forms are energy, and of themselves because energy moves. Energy, in your sense of the word, carries with it a power to move, to operate, and to manipulate. And so if you would say thoughts are things and thoughts are energies, then you could visualize the energies, and these energies, as we said, you could visualize surrounding the entire being of an individual and seeking to enter in any way that they can and be, as we said, one thought, one seed entering into the energy field may find the resistance from the other thought forms residing within. But then it is always subject to being expanded if the consciousness is not aware of it. And then when the thought forms can enter in, one could say, as one would become annoyed if one were in a process of daydreaming and all of a sudden there were circumstances and one became annoyed. Becoming annoyed would create within the entity many things that were taking place on other levels. And then one would gain one's composure and then say, well, I should not have lost my balance and became annoyed. But during that moment of annoyance, as one is well aware, one feels the physical and chemical changes taking place within their own energy field. So that would be an example of the processes that were taking place as one allows their consciousness to wander and become involved in thought forms and is not aware. One can eventually, as one understands the processes and it separates themselves from thought forms and recognizes that consciousness, that awareness, then one can set about to consciously control the physical body and then can set about to control the mental processes and then control the emotional processes. And then one can, as we said in the one other session, one may not at first be able to control the ramblings of the mental body, for it is very rapid and its process has become so automatic and so confused that it seems to ramble on, and one response, sound, sight, smell, one response can set it immediately off into another direction, and one is confused as to their thinking. But then when one becomes aware of that, then one can mentally then set about consciously to control what the mental body will run. If it will run by itself, then the first control that one has may not be that it can stop the mental ramblings, because that has become the predominant reality to the individual. So then one would set about to seek thought forms and belief systems that would be more pleasing to what they wished. And then as one began to accept new systems, one would find that the mental and emotional bodies would start to be flowing freer. And one may find then that one would go through a process of many belief systems, and each belief system would bring them closer and closer to the freedom of the awareness, recognizing that all thought forms are belief systems, and then one would be able to see and look back and see how in various phases that things that were part of their belief systems at one time are no longer part of their belief systems, and how that they can incorporate and add to and change. And it is very easy then for one to become locked in to the new thought system that would be more pleasing to their emotions. And if you would use the religious theory, because this is what most people are more familiar with and deals with the emotions on the way, or one would come in contact with the thought systems of the reincarnation theory. Then as one began to listen to the new information, would have many emotional experiences and conflicts within their total energy field, as the first or the most predominant system was in control of the emotions and the physical and the mental. And so as then the new information came in, and depending then on the awareness, or you could say on the awareness, getting in touch with enough emotional energy to find within the consciousness of the knowing that there would be something that was not quite right with the system, because if the system were right, then the total being would be in harmony. So as the consciousness recognizes the inharmony existing within itself, then the awareness, the consciousness can say there, above all of the fear existing within the belief system, there is still something wrong. And when one then takes this step and then puts out within their consciousness the thought, as it were, that there must be another way, or I am not quite understanding that very thought, then will reach out and with the same energies that keep one imprisoned, then will reach out and seek a thought system that would bring closer harmony to the entire state that the energy field found itself in. And it may be one system for one individual or another system for another individual, depending on their total rate of vibration at this time. And as then the new thought system gained more and more harmony, or more and more of the conscious attention of the entity, the consciousness is still locked in to a degree in a thought system. However, the thought system is in more harmony with the consciousness and with the three systems. So there is then perhaps a balancing out more so. And then because of the balancing out, then there is more awareness released for the to then engage within the mental workings, and then to start, as it were, asking the mental processes and investigating its own belief systems, and recognizing that is that which we speak. The awareness is not any thought system. And then there would be then the shifting, as it were, through and searching, as it were, through many belief systems, and within each belief system there would be a freeing within the individual, or a confirmation on whatever they were seeking. And we were speaking just now of those who would be seeking what you call the truth, or seeking the answers. Then with that particular consciousness working in that direction would draw to it different thought systems, as a consciousness seeking confirmation on any of the belief systems. For a consciousness seeking that feels comfortable in its entirety with a particular thought system, then would be seeking thought forms that would confirm and make that thought system a reality for them. And this is what we were speaking of when we said that within each individual there is their own awareness, and if they seek a particular state within themselves at that time, it is all right. We have enjoyed the session, and we will say goodbye.
Goodbye to you. We've enjoyed it very much, and thank you. Thank you very much.